The glass crashed before anyone screamed. Silverware clattered, chairs scraped back, and every head in the restaurant turned toward the booth by the window. The woman in the red dress wasn't moving. Her hand gripped her throat, eyes wide, face pale. Kwame froze for a split second behind the counter, holding a tray that suddenly felt like it weighed 50 pounds. Then instinct took over. He dropped the tray and sprinted across the dining floor. "Move!" he shouted. "Give her space!" The billionaire everyone whispered about, Alana Pierce, was choking. Her driver was on his phone, uselessly yelling for help. No one else moved fast enough. Kwame didn't think. He just reacted. He reached her table, pulled her from the seat, and when back blows didn't work, he did what training videos never showed. He leaned her forward. Fingers digging beneath her ribs, pressing hard. Nothing. Her body went limp. He didn't even feel the panic until he saw her eyes roll back. The restaurant went dead silent. He laid her down, checked her pulse. It was fading. "Stay with me," he muttered. Then, out of desperation, he tilted her chin and breathed into her lungs. Once, twice. Her chest rose. On the third breath, she coughed hard, spitting out a fragment of lobster. A sound ripped through the restaurant, a mix of relief and shock. But it didn't last, because at that exact moment, cameras flashed, phones raised. Someone shouted, "He's kissing her!" The driver pushed Kwame away. Alana gasped for air, confused, clutching her chest. Her glossy hair stuck to her face, her lipstick smudged across Kwame's cheek like a scarlet accusation. He backed up, hands raised. "She couldn't breathe. Security stormed in from the lobby. The driver pointed. "He assaulted Ms. Pierce." Kwame's voice cracked. "No, she was dying. I was helping." But no one listened. Customers whispered, filming. He could already imagine the headlines. A broke waiter, a billionaire woman, a scandal in real time. Cameras followed him as security grabbed his arm. Alana tried to speak, but her voice failed. The cameras didn't care. The angle was all that mattered. Kwame's daughter's face flashed in his mind, Amira waiting for him to pick her up from her friend's house. He needed this job. He needed this check. And now, this. A woman gasped as Kwame was dragged toward the kitchen doors. The billionaire finally managed to whisper something, but no one caught it. Outside, sirens wailed in the distance. The night had just begun. "Hey, I'm really glad you're here. Be honest, have you eaten today? What did you have? Tell me that, your location, and the time. And if you're new, don't leave without subscribing. It feels empty when you come in and leave without saying a word." Kwame's heart hammered as police lights flickered through the restaurant's glass. He stood outside, cold air cutting his skin. Reporters were already arriving, shouting questions he couldn't answer. Inside, Alana sat surrounded by her staff, dazed. One of them held her designer coat. She looked through the glass at him, expression unreadable. Was she about to defend him or destroy him? The manager stormed out. "You're suspended, Kwame, indefinitely. HR will call you." He wanted to explain, but the words wouldn't come. Every syllable felt like a waste against the noise of sirens and cameras. He watched as Alana Pierce, the woman he'd just saved, was led past him into a waiting black SUV. Their eyes met for 2 seconds. 2 long, quiet seconds where the world shrank to just them. Then she turned away. And for the first time that night, Kwame realized something far worse than being misunderstood. He might be forgotten. As the SUV door closed, a police officer tapped his shoulder. "You'll need to come with us, sir." Kwame looked back at the restaurant, his tray still on the floor, broken glass glittering under the lights. Somewhere, deep inside, a question burned. If saving someone can ruin your life, what's the price of doing nothing? Tell me what you think. Should Kwame have acted anyway? Would you have done the same if it were you? The sound of the cell door slamming behind Kwame echoed like a verdict. Cold concrete, flickering light, and the heavy stench of bleach. It felt more like a punishment than a misunderstanding. His uniform shirt was still damp from the chaos at the restaurant. He sat on the bench, elbows on his knees, trying to piece together how saving someone turned into this. A guard passed by, chewing gum like he'd seen this story too many times. "You're lucky," he muttered. "Most guys in your spot don't have it on camera." Kwame looked up. "Camera?" The guard shrugged. "News is everywhere. Some say you're a hero. Others say you crossed a line." Across the small holding cell, a drunk man laughed. Kissed the wrong woman, huh? Should have saved yourself instead. Kwame didn't answer. His thoughts were on Amira. She hated when he was late picking her up. She'd be waiting, backpack on, legs swinging, watching every car that passed. His phone was gone. His wallet too. He had no way to call her. The helplessness clawed at him. A few minutes later, an officer opened the door. You're free to go, for now. For now? Your boss dropped the complaint, but her team's pressing charges. You'll need a lawyer. Kwame blinked. Charges? For what? The officer didn't answer. He stepped outside into the night air. Snow was starting to fall, slow and quiet. Reporters still hovered near the station entrance, microphones ready, faces hungry for his version of the story. He kept walking. His car was gone, towed probably, so he walked 10 blocks through the cold until he reached the corner store that stayed open late. Inside, the clerk, an older man who knew him by face, looked up. Man, I saw you on the news. That's you, right? Kwame hesitated. Guess it is. They twisting it, the man said. But I know you. You ain't that kind. Kwame nodded, barely holding it together. Appreciate it. He grabbed a small pack of noodles and some juice, not because he was hungry, just to feel normal again. Then his phone buzzed. Unknown number. He almost ignored it, but answered anyway. Kwame Osei? A woman's voice asked, calm but tense. This is Jordan Ellis. I'm Ms. Pierce's assistant. His stomach tightened. Yeah? She asked to see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., her penthouse office. Wait, she asked to see me? Yes, she said it's urgent. The line went dead. He stared at his reflection in the store window, a tired man with a borrowed jacket and eyes full of questions. What could she possibly want from him now? He should have felt relief that she wanted to talk, but something about the word urgent made his chest tighten. Because if the woman who could ruin him with a single interview wanted to meet face to face, then whatever came next wasn't about gratitude. It was about control. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because what happens in that meeting will decide everything. Tell me in the comments, would you trust her enough to go? The elevator shot upward so fast Kwame's ears popped. Numbers blinked past, 40, 52, 67, each floor tightening his chest. The walls were mirrored, forcing him to watch himself breathe. He straightened his thrift store jacket just as the car slowed. A soft chime. Doors slid open. Glass, light, silence. The penthouse stretched wide, all clean lines in city view. The harbor glittering like it didn't know trouble existed. Kwame took one step out and stopped when voices cut through the quiet. We control the angle, a man said sharply. You don't owe him anything. Another voice followed, calmer, clipped. I owe the truth. Kwame didn't move. He stood between the elevator doors as if the floor might shift under him. A woman crossed the room and stopped short when she saw him. Jordan Ellis, same voice from the phone. She scanned him head to toe, then nodded once. You can come in. The room smelled like citrus and coffee. On the far side, Alana Pierce stood near the window, back turned, phone pressed to her ear. She wore a tailored suit now, not the red dress. Hair pulled back, controlled, alive. Kwame's stomach flipped at the sight of her standing. She ended the call without looking at him. Give us a minute, she said. The man beside her, silver hair, sharp eyes, hesitated. Alana. Now, she said. He left. The door shut. The room felt smaller. Alana turned. Her gaze landed on Kwame's cheek where the lipstick smear still faintly lingered. Her jaw tightened. You shouldn't still have that, she said. You shouldn't be breathing, Kwame replied before he could stop himself. Silence fell hard. I know, she said quietly. That's why you're here. Kwame stayed standing. Your team's pressing charges. Her eyes flicked away. I didn't authorize that, but you didn't stop it. She stepped closer, heels clicking. Do you know what it costs when a video goes viral like that? Sponsors, boards, lawsuits? My job, he said. My kid. Her shoulders shifted. Not guilt. Calculation. I didn't ask you to do what you did. You didn't have to. She studied him like a problem she couldn't solve. You could have waited for help. There wasn't time. Another pause. Long, heavy. You kissed me, she said. I breathed for you. Her lips pressed thin. Perception matters. Kwame laughed once, sharp. Funny. Truth should matter more. She inhaled, steadying herself. Sit. He didn't. Alana nodded toward the table. I watched the footage again, frame by frame. You saved my life. Kwame's chest eased for half a second. Then she added, but the world doesn't reward moments. It rewards stories. And what story are you telling? He asked. She walked past him and picked up a tablet. That depends on what you want. He shook his head. I want my name back. Her eyes met his, something unreadable there. Then we need to talk about what really happened after the cameras stopped. The tablet screen lit up. A paused video, a different angle. No crowd, no shouting. Kwame leaned in, heart thudding. Where did you get that? Alana didn't answer. She pressed play. The video jumps, grainy and silent, then steadies on a narrow hallway behind the restaurant. Kwame's breath catches because he recognizes the angle, employee only, near the service door. He's there on the screen, bent over a sink, rinsing his hands. His shoulders rise and fall, fast, like he's trying to outrun his own pulse. Then Alana appears in the frame, supported by her driver. She waves him off. The driver hesitates, then steps away. The hallway empties. On the screen, Alana sways. Kwame turns. He reaches out, not touching her, stopping short, palms open. He says something the audio can't catch. She shakes her head, points to her chest. Her breathing looks wrong, too shallow, too quick. Kwame watches himself step closer. He sees the pause, the choice, the way his jaw sets like he's decided to carry something heavy. The clip ends before the dining room chaos, before the cameras, before the story. Kwame looks up at Alana. You had this the whole time. I got it this morning, she says, from a private system, not the restaurants. Private, he repeats, meaning someone wanted it quiet. She doesn't answer. She swipes to another clip. This one is shorter, different angle, same hallway. A man in a suit steps into frame after Alana coughs up the food. He crouches, scoops something from the floor, slips it into his pocket. He looks straight at the camera before it cuts. Kwame's mouth goes dry. Who is that? Alana exhales through her nose. My counsel's fixer. He said he was cleaning up. Cleaning up what? She meets his eyes. The part where my heart monitor shows an irregular rhythm. The part that makes the kiss look like more than a rescue. Kwame shakes his head. So you let them paint me as a problem. I let them buy time, she says. For me. For you, he echoes, while my kid's asking why her dad's face is on a screen. Alana flinches, just a little. She sets the tablet down. I can stop the charges. Today? By noon. And the job, he asks? The comments, the threats? She looks at the window, the city spread out like a promise. I can't erase what people already decided. Kwame steps back. The room feels smaller again. Then why call me? Because there's more, she says. And because you didn't run. He laughs without humor. I didn't have anywhere to run. Alana reaches into a drawer and pulls out a thin folder. She slides it across the table. Inside are stills from the dining room, faces frozen mid-shout, one face circled in red. Kwame leans in. That's the manager. He cut the alarm, Alana says. Pulled the breaker for the cameras. He owes someone money. Kwame straightens. And you're telling me this now? Because he's not the only one, she says, and because the next hearing is in 48 hours. A clock on the wall ticks, loud, counted. Kwame's phone buzzes in his pocket. A photo from Amira's school group chat pops up. Kids laughing. Someone scrawled words across a screenshot of his face. He pockets the phone without opening it. I didn't ask for this, he says quietly. I know, Alana replies. But you're in it. She steps closer, not touching, stopping short. If I speak now, I take a hit, big. If I wait, you take the fall. He studies her, searching for the angle. What do you want? Her voice lowers. I want you to tell me what you need. Kwame breathes in, citrus, coffee, the hum of money moving somewhere far above him. I need the truth, he says. All of it. In the open. Her jaw tightens. That will hurt people. It already is. Silence stretches. The clock keeps time. Alana nods once. Then we do it your way. A knock breaks the moment. Jordan's voice through the door. They're here. Who's they, Ute? Kwame asks. Alana picks up the tablet. The board and the press. Kwame's chest tightens. Now? She meets his eyes. Now. The doors swing open and the noise hits first. Cameras click. Voices overlap. A wall of suits turns all at once, faces sharp with interest. Kwame feels the heat of the room before he takes 2 steps in. The boardroom smells like cologne and fresh paper. A long table. Bottled water untouched. Screens already lit. Alana doesn't slow. She walks straight to the head of the table and stands. No smile, no warning. Kwame stays near the door, back straight, hands loose at his sides. Every eye slides to him. A few people whisper his name like it's a rumor. A man with a tight jaw clears his throat. This meeting is about damage control. Alana answers without looking at him. It's about truth. A producer in the corner raises a hand. Ms. Pierce, are we live? She nods. Start now. The red light turns on. Kwame's pulse thumps in his ears. Live means no edits, no rescue. Alana gestures to the screen. Play the clip. The hallway video fills the wall. Silent, clear. Kwame watches the room watch him. He sees the moment where he stops short, palms open. He sees the choice again. The cough, the breath, the life coming back. Murmurs ripple. Someone swears under their breath. Alana speaks, steady. I was choking. My heart rhythm dropped. This man saved my life. The man with the tight jaw leans forward. That's not what the public believes. Then the public was fed a lie, she says. Kwame swallows. The camera swings to him. He feels exposed, like a light turned on inside his chest. A woman at the table folds her hands. Why wait? Alana's eyes flick to Kwame, then back. Because people around me chose delay over decency. The manager's face drains of color. That's a serious claim. Alana taps the tablet. A still frame pops up. The manager at the breaker box, hand mid-pull, gasps. A chair scrapes. The manager stands. This is out of context. Kwame's voice cuts through, calm and low. You shut the alarm off. All eyes snap to him. You told me it was a glitch, Kwame continues. You told me to keep serving. The manager points. You're a waiter. You don't get to... I'm a dad, Kwame says. The words land heavier than he expects. And I did my job. Silence spreads. The camera hums. Alana steps closer to the table. The charges end today. The statement goes out now. Full. The tight jaw man shakes his head. Sponsors will pull. Let them, she says. I won't pull him down to save myself. Kwame's phone vibrates. He doesn't look. He knows it's Amira's school again. He knows what's being said without reading it. A producer whispers, We're trending. Alana nods once. Good. She turns to Kwame. For a second the room fades. I'm sorry, she says, quiet but caught by the mic, for the wait. Kwame breathes out. He wants to believe it's over. He wants to feel relief. The door opens again. A woman in a gray coat steps in, badge clipped at her waist. The room stiffens. Federal investigators, she says. We have questions about a private surveillance system and a concealed medical record. Alana's face tightens. Now? Now, the agent replies. The camera swings. The red light stays on. Kwame's phone buzzes again. This time he looks. A message from an unknown number. We can fix this if you stay quiet. He lifts his eyes to Alana. She sees the look on his face and knows. Kwame pockets the phone as the agent steps forward. The room holds its breath. The agent's badge catches the light as she steps closer, shoes quiet on the carpet. Phone's on the table, she says. All of them. A ripple moves through the room. Hands hesitate. Then devices slide forward. Soft taps against polished wood. Kwame places his phone down last. The unknown message sits on the screen like a dare. Alana doesn't look away from the agent. You'll want my counsel. You'll get them, the agent replies. After. Jordan shifts near the wall, eyes darting. The tight jaw man clears his throat again, then stops when the agent meets his gaze. The red light stays on. Live. Who owns the private system? The agent asks. Alana answers without pause. A subsidiary, mine. And who authorized edits? Silence. It stretches thick enough to hear the HVAC hum. The agent turns to Kwame. Sir, you received a message just now. Kwame nods. I did. From whom? I don't know. The agent lifts the phone, reads, then looks up. An offer for silence. Alana's breath tightens. She turns toward Kwame, eyes sharp. They went around me. Kwame watches her carefully. He thinks of Amira's backpack by the door. He thinks of the walk home. He thinks of how fast a story can turn. The agent addresses the room. We're pausing this meeting. Ms. Pierce, you'll come with us. Mr. Osi, you're not under arrest. Not today. A murmur swells. Cameras lean in. Alana steps forward. He stays. He goes, the agent says. Home. Kwame hesitates. Alana's voice drops just for him. They're testing you. He nods once. He turns for the door. Each step feels like choosing again. Outside, the hallway is bright and empty. A producer jogs after him. Statement? Kwame keeps walking. I already said it. The elevator doors close. The car drops. Numbers tick down. The hum is loud again. On the street, the cold hits hard. Snowflakes sting his face. He pulls his jacket tighter and moves. Half a block later, a black sedan rolls to a stop beside him. The window slides down. A woman inside doesn't smile. We can make the noise stop. Kwame doesn't slow. Not interested. She holds up a folder. Your daughter's school, a transfer, a scholarship, today. He stops. The city keeps moving around them. How did you get that? He asks. Everyone's public, she says. Some of us just move faster. Kwame thinks of the unknown message. The same hand, the same pressure. No, he says. The window slides up. The car pulls away. Kwame reaches the corner store again. The clerk looks up. Still you, he says softly. Kwame nods. He buys nothing. He steps back into the cold. His phone rings. Alana's name. He answers. You okay? She exhales. They're digging, deep. And the offer? He asks. Did you take it? No. A pause. Thank you. Don't thank me yet, Kwame says. What else aren't you telling me? Silence. Then, tomorrow morning, I'll show you. A siren wails somewhere far off. If you're still here, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what she shows him next. Share your thoughts below. Would you protect your child at any cost or hold the line when power leans on you? Kwame ends the call and looks up at the falling snow. Tomorrow is coming fast. The monitor starts beeping before Kwame can ask a question. Fast, then uneven. A nurse moves quick, hands sure, pressing buttons while Alana grips the edge of the exam table. The room smells like alcohol wipes and plastic, bright lights buzzing overhead. I'm fine, Alana says, but her voice skips. Kwame steps closer without touching. He watches her chest rise, the way her fingers curl when the rhythm stutters. The screen shows lines jumping where they shouldn't. Sit back, the nurse says. Please. Alana obeys. The beeping slows. The room exhales. Kwame swallows. This is why the fixer grabbed the footage, Alana nods. And why they wanted the kiss to look like something else. She reaches for a folder on the counter and opens it. Inside are reports, dates, numbers, a chart with red marks. I have a condition, she says. Rare. Stress makes it worse. If the board knew the timing, they'd force me out. Kwame's jaw tightens. So they made me the story. They made you the shield, she says. The nurse finishes and steps out, closing the door. Silence drops. The monitor hums steady now. Alana meets his eyes. I didn't plan to collapse. I didn't plan to let them push it on you. But you did, he says. She doesn't argue. I need you to understand the stakes. My kid, he replies. That's the stake I understand. She opens another page. A trust, a shell company, donations routed through a foundation with clean language and dirty timing. They're laundering influence, Alana says, buying silence, buying delay. Kwame leans in. And the manager? Paid, she says, to cut the alarm, to keep cameras quiet. Kwame's phone vibrates, a photo this time, Amira on the playground, a caption under it, nice family you've got. His hand tightens. They found her. Alana's face hardens. Then we move faster. Faster than what? He asks. Than the board, she says. Then the next offer. He shakes his head. I won't trade her safety for your seat. I won't ask you to, Alana says. I'll put my name on it. Today. Kwame studies her. He looks for the angle again and finds fear instead. Real, human, the kind that makes people choose wrong. Do it, he says. Now. She reaches for her phone. Her thumb hesitates. Once I send this, there's no quiet exit. There shouldn't be, Kwame replies. She types, sends. The door opens. Jordan steps in, pale. The board's calling an emergency vote. Alana stands. Let them. Another buzz. Kwame checks his phone. A new message. Last chance. He deletes it. Alana heads for the door. Kwame follows. Down the hall, voices rise. And someone is waiting. The vote clock starts the moment the doors swing open. A digital timer glows on the wall. 4,800 total, set by the board to finish what they started. 48 hours to decide Alana's future. 48 hours before the story hardens into something that can't be bent back. A man blocks the hallway. Tall, gray suit, smile that doesn't reach his eyes. Alana, he says, smooth. We need a word. Put it on the record, she replies, not slowing. He glances at Kwame. Privately. No, Alana says. Now. They step into a side room. Glass walls. Everyone can see them. The man taps the timer with a knuckle. You're risking the company. You risked a life, Alana says. 2 if you count his. The man sighs. You made this messy. Kwame speaks before he plans to. You made it dangerous. The man turns to him, eyes sharp. You're emotional. Kwame nods. I'm a father. Silence lands. The man shifts tactics. We'll settle. Statement goes out. Charges end. You walk away clean. And him? Alana asks. He keeps his dignity, the man says. Offline. Kwame laughs, short. That's not clean. The man leans closer to Alana. Your condition will leak. Alana's chin lifts. Then it leaks. He straightens. Final offer. Kwame's phone buzzes again, a number he recognizes now, the fixer. We can end this. 10 minutes. Alana sees his screen. They're still pushing. Kwame locks the phone. I'm done talking. The man's smile fades. You're making a mistake. Alana steps forward. No, we're correcting one. She opens her phone and projects it to the glass. A statement drafts itself line by line. Clear, direct, names included. The man's eyes widen. You can't. I can, she says, and I am. A knock hits the glass. Jordan mouths, presses here. Alana nods. She hits send. Outside, microphones rise like weeds. The timer keeps counting. A reporter shouts, Ms. Pierce, did you lie? Alana faces the glass. I delayed the truth, she says into the room. I won't anymore. Kwame feels the air shift. Not relief, weight moving. The man steps back, jaw tight. You just declared war. Alana meets his stare. You started it. Kwame's phone rings, not the fixer, Amira's school. He answers. Hey, a teacher's voice, careful. She's okay, but someone asked questions at pickup. Kwame's stomach drops. Who? We don't know. He looks at Alana. She hears it in his silence. I'll have security at the school, she says. Now, the man scoffs. You can't protect everyone. Alana doesn't look at him. Watch me try. They step into the press. Cameras flood them. Alana speaks first. Kwame stands beside her, still, visible. The timer ticks down behind the glass. 47 hours, 59 minutes. Kwame's phone vibrates again. A photo loads before he can stop it. Amira, outside the school. The message reads, clock's ticking. The crowd surges as Kwame lifts his eyes, and the timer keeps running. The phone slips in Kwame's hand, almost falls. He steadies it, eyes locked on the photo. Amira stands near the school gate, coat zipped wrong, one lace loose. The background is too close, too personal. Where is she? Alana asks, already moving. Kwame forces his voice steady. Still at school. They said she's okay. Alana's driver is there in seconds, door open. We're going, Alana says. No debate. The car cuts through traffic, lights ignored. The city blurring past the windows. Kwame keeps the phone in his palm like it might bite. Another buzz. Not a threat this time. A video file. No number. Just a name. Amira. He taps it. Amira's face fills the screen. She's sitting at the kitchen table at home, legs dangling, cheeks smudged with marker. The camera wobbles like someone set it down and walked away. "Hi," she says, shy, then braver. Ms. Pierce? My teacher said you're the lady from the TV." Kwame's breath catches. "My dad says you're busy," Amira continues, "but I wanted to say thank you. He always helps people, even when he's tired, even when he says his feet hurt." She smiles, missing a tooth. "He made me soup last night, the good kind, with noodles." She leans closer to the camera. "People at school said bad things, but I know my dad didn't do anything bad. He just didn't want you to stop breathing." The video ends. Silence fills the car. The city noise feels far away. Alana presses her lips together. Her eyes shine, but she doesn't look away. "Who sent this?" Kwame shakes his head. "I don't know." The driver slows as they near the school. Police cars already line the curb. A security guard waves them in. Amira spots Kwame and breaks free, running. Kwame opens the door before the car fully stops. He drops to one knee as she hits him, arms tight around his neck. "You're late," she says, muffled. "I know," he whispers. "I'm here." Alana stands back, watching. The way Amira clings, the way Kwame's shoulders finally drop. Something cracks open in Alana's face. A man steps out from behind a cruiser. Same gray suit, same smile gone thin. "Heartwarming," he says. "But we're not done." Alana turns. "You went near a child." He lifts his hands. "We went near a story." Kwame stands, Amira still holding his jacket. "You don't get to." The man glances at the press gathering across the street. "You made me look weak." "You did that yourself," Alana says. He leans closer, voice low. "You have 47 hours, or the next clip won't be so sweet." Amira looks up. "Daddy?" Kwame meets her eyes. Go sit with the officer, okay?" She nods, reluctant, then goes. The man steps back. Tick-tock. He walks away. Alana's phone rings. The board chair. She declines it. She looks at Kwame. They crossed a line. Kwame nods. "Then we draw one." Kwame watches the gray suit disappear into traffic. The timer in his head starts counting louder than ever. The room goes quiet the moment Alana closes the door behind them. No cameras, no board. Just the low hum of the city outside and the soft click of the lock. Kwame sets Amira's backpack on the chair and keeps his hand on it like an anchor. Alana doesn't sit. She stands by the window, looking down, then finally turns. "There's something you need to know before this goes any further." Kwame crosses his arms. "Say it." She takes a breath, slow, measured. "I had a daughter." The words land without warning. Kwame doesn't move. He watches her face instead. The control is still there, but it's thin now. "She was 6, Alana continues. Bright, loud, asked questions that made adults uncomfortable. A pause. "She died 3 years ago. An accident." Amira's backpack shifts under Kwame's hand. He thinks of the video, the soup, the missing tooth. "That's why you froze," he says quietly, "when you saw her." Alana nods once. "That's why I let them take over. I couldn't lose control again." Kwame exhales through his nose. "So you chose yourself." "I chose fear," she corrects. "There's a difference." She reaches into her bag and pulls out a folded paper, old, creased. She opens it on the table between them. A child's drawing, stick figures, a tall woman holding hands with a smaller one, a sun drawn too big. "My daughter wrote me a note the week before," Alana says. It said, "Mommy, be brave even when you're scared." Kwame closes his eyes for a beat. "You don't get to borrow courage from my kid," he says, "but you can learn from her." Alana swallows. "I am." A knock hits the door. Jordan steps in, face tight. "They're moving the vote up, 12 hours. Kwame looks up. "They're rushing." "They want this buried by morning," Jordan says. Alana nods. Then we don't sleep. Kwame's phone buzzes again. This time no threat, a location pin, close, too close. "They're watching," he says. Alana picks up her keys. Then we change the angle. They move fast, down the private elevator, out the side exit, a different car, different route. The city looks the same, but Kwame knows better now. Corners feel closer. Lights feel brighter. They pull into a quiet block near Kwame's place. Alana doesn't get out. "I won't step inside," she says. "Not tonight." Kwame nods. He opens the back door. Amira climbs out, tired but calm. She looks at Alana. "Are you coming?" Alana smiles, small. "Another time?" Amira thinks, then nods like that makes sense. She waves. Inside the apartment, Kwame locks the door and leans his head against it. The quiet rushes in. He checks the windows, the hallway. Then he kneels in front of Amira. "We're okay," he says. "Right now." She studies him. "Are you scared?" He answers honestly. "Yes." She considers that. "Me too, but you're here." He hugs her tight. His phone buzzes one last time. A new message, no number. "We have your past and your future." Kwame's jaw tightens. He looks at the clock. The vote is coming. Morning is coming. Kwame turns off the light and stands watch by the window. Someone down the street snaps a photo. The knock comes at 4:18 a.m. 3 taps, not loud, certain. Kwame doesn't answer right away. He peers through the peephole, breath held. A woman stands there alone, coat zipped, badge half hidden. Not police, not press. "Mr. Osei," she says through the door, voice even. "Federal court, we need you now." Amira stirs behind him on the couch, blanket slipping. Kwame opens the door just enough to speak. "Why now?" "Because the vote moved again," the woman replies. "And because someone just tried to move money." Kwame glances at Amira, then back. "Give me 2 minutes." The courthouse hums with early light, coffee breath, paper shuffling. A judge sits, tired eyes sharp. Alana stands at the table, jaw set. The gray-suited man sits opposite, calm like this is still his room. The agent nods to Kwame. "We received a transfer attempt tied to the private system, minutes ago." The gray suit smiles. "Routine." The agent lifts a folder. "From a foundation you don't control." Alana turns. "You used my name." The man shrugs. "We used your silence." Kwame steps forward. "You threatened my child." The judge looks up. "Is that true?" The man's smile tightens. "Emotional claims." The agent clicks a remote. The screen lights. A time-stamped log, a message chain, a location pin placed near a school. The room shifts. Alana speaks, steady. "I authorize full release, all footage, all records." The gray suit leans in. "You'll burn everything." "Then it was already dry," she replies. The judge nods once. "Proceed." The agent plays the last clip, the fixer in the hallway, the manager at the breaker, the message offering silence. The photo of Amira appears, blurred now, protected. The gray suit stands. "This is a witch hunt." Kwame meets his eyes. "You hunted first." The judge raises a hand. "Sit." The room holds. The clock on the wall ticks loud. The judge speaks. "Charges against Mr. Osei are dismissed, effective immediately." Kwame exhales, knees weak. The judge continues. "An injunction is granted, no contact, no retaliation." The gray suit's face drains. Outside, dawn breaks pale over the steps. Alana turns to Kwame. "I'm done running." Kwame nods. "Good." A reporter shouts, "Ms. Pierce, your position?" She faces the cameras. "I step aside today." A gasp ripples. "And," another voice calls, "and I fund a trust," she says, "independent, for whistleblowers, starting now." Kwame watches the crowd react. He feels the weight lift, then shift. His phone buzzes. One last message. Unknown. "You won the room, not the street." Kwame pockets the phone. He looks at Alana. "It's not over." She nods. "No, but it's turning." Across the street, a car idles. A camera lens lowers. Someone is still watching. The restaurant smells like butter and heat, the good kind. Pans hiss, plates slide. The bell over the door rings, steady, ordinary, alive. Kwame stands behind the counter again, not because everything is fixed, but because some things are worth returning to. A handwritten sign hangs near the register. Open, nothing fancy, nothing loud. Customers drift in, cautious at first. A woman nods at him like she recognizes his face from a screen. A man says, "Glad you're back," like it matters. It does. Amira sits at the corner table with crayons spread wide, drawing suns too big for the page. She looks up every time the bell rings. Kwame watches her between orders, counting the small mercies. A black car pulls up outside. It idles, then the engine cuts. Alana steps in without an escort. No suit today, simple coat, hair loose. The room stills for half a breath, then resumes. Life keeps going. She walks to the counter and waits her turn. "What can I get you?" Kwame asks, voice even. She smiles, careful. "Soup," she says. "The good kind, with noodles." He nods. Seats open. She sits. Amira looks up, curious, then smiles wide. "Hi," she says. "Hi," Alana replies. "I like your drawing." "It's brave," Amira says, like that explains everything. Kwame brings the soup. Steam rises. Alana closes her eyes for a moment, then opens them. "Thank you," she says, "for the night, for the truth, for not trading your kid's safety for my comfort." Kwame leans on the counter. "I didn't do it alone." "I know," she says. "I stepped down. The trust is live. The board's done." "And the watchers?" he asks. "They moved on," she says. "They always do." The bell rings again. More customers. Laughter from the back. The city hums outside, steady. Alana stands. She leaves a folded paper on the counter. "When you're ready." Kwame doesn't open it yet. He watches her go. Amira tugs his sleeve. "Daddy?" "Yeah?" "Did you save her?" He thinks, then nods. "Yes." She grins and goes back to her drawing. Kwame unfolds the paper. It's a lease, a partnership offer. No rush, no pressure. He looks up at the door, then back to the room he knows by heart. If this story moved you, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Share your thoughts below. What would you choose when the world is watching? Kwame rings the bell for the next order. The restaurant fills with sound. The clock keeps time. And for now, that's enough. The bell over the door rings after closing. Not the sharp public sound. This one is softer, careful, like whoever pushed it didn't want to interrupt anything important. Kwame looks up from wiping the counter. Chairs are already flipped, lights dimmed. Amira is asleep in the back booth, curled into her jacket, crayons scattered like fallen leaves. Alana stands just inside the door. "I can come back," she says quietly. Kwame shakes his head. "You're fine." She steps in and lets the door close behind her. The restaurant feels different at night, like it's telling the truth instead of performing. No crowd, no noise, just the hum of the fridge and the faint smell of soup that refuses to leave. "I didn't want to send an email," Alana says. "Felt wrong." Kwame finishes the counter and turns to face her. "What do you want to say?" She looks at Amira first. Her voice drops. "I went to the school today, with permission. I apologized, to the staff, to the parents." Kwame nods once. "And?" "They didn't clap," she says. "They didn't forgive me right away. They listened." "That's enough," he replies. Alana reaches into her coat and pulls out a small envelope. No logos, no weight. "I closed the trust," she says. "Moved it where it can't be leaned on." Kwame doesn't take it yet. "You didn't have to come here for that." "I did," she says, "because this place is where it broke and where it fixed." He finally takes the envelope and sets it aside unopened. "I'm not signing anything tonight." "I know," she says. "I'm not asking." Silence settles, easy this time. Alana sits in the booth across from Amira without waking her. She smiles when Amira shifts and hugs her jacket tighter. "I used to stay up like this," Alana says softly, watching, counting breaths. Kwame leans against the counter. "You don't stop counting." "No," she agrees. "You just learn which moments matter." Outside, a car passes. No cameras, no watchers, just traffic doing what it does. Alana stands. "I'll go." Kwame nods. "Okay." She hesitates at the door. "For what it's worth, I'm glad it was you." He meets her eyes. "For what it's worth, I'm glad you told the truth." She leaves. The bell rings once more, then quiet. Kwame turns off the lights and carries Amira home. She wakes just enough to wrap her arms around his neck. "Did she go?" she murmurs. "Yes." "Is everything okay now?" He thinks about the clock, about how it never stops, about how some fights end and others just change shape. We're okay, he says. That's what matters. The next morning, the restaurant opens on time. A line forms. Someone brings flowers. Someone else brings a note that says, "Thank you for breathing life back into the room." Kwame tapes it near the register. Weeks pass. The noise fades. The story moves on. New stories take its place. One afternoon, Kwame opens the envelope. He reads it slowly. Then he folds it back up and puts it in the drawer, not as a promise, but as a choice. Amira draws another son, still too big. Kwame smiles. The bell rings. Life goes on. The bell keeps ringing. Different faces, different days. Same counter, worn smooth by hands that work and wait and hope. Kwame learns the rhythm again, the rush at noon, the quiet after 2, the way the room breathes when people feel safe enough to sit. Amira grows louder, taller. Her drawings change, but the sons stay big, too big. Kwame leaves them up and lets customers smile at them like they mean something. They do. Sometimes Alana comes in, sometimes she doesn't. When she does, she waits her turn and tips too much and listens more than she talks. No cameras, no statements, just soup cooling in a bowl. The world moves on, stories fade, new ones take their place, but a few linger in the corners, passed quietly between people who needed to hear them. Kwame keeps choosing the small things, showing up, telling the truth, counting what matters. If you stayed until the end, thank you. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next story. And if this one meant something to you, share it in the comments, where you're watching from, what time it is, and what you're carrying tonight. The bell rings, and tomorrow opens on time.